here on the Common Man program. I'm Comedies 10 to be hour number 3 here on the Fan. I know you did an investigation in the microwave.
I did.
I did an investigation into the refrigerator and the freezer. Oh, there was Dairy Queen here earlier today, all right. Remember, my new theory through mnfatloss.com, 80% of your food is for a purpose, 20% is for pleasure. And this is the 2% of the 20% that's going to be pleasure.
Well, there's some Dairy Queen in the fridge right now? Well, thanks for the invite.
Well, it's still there. Oh, there's all kinds of Dairy Queen treats in there. Yeah. And you know what? I don't feel guilty for helping myself, even though it was sent to the Power Trip Morning Show. Sorry. Even if it wasn't a member, I apologize to the Power Trip Morning Show if they didn't really blow up the microwave and then I'm stealing your ice cream. But you know what? I'll take you to Dairy Queen and buy you one someday. What did you find out from the? You don't think it was chocolate?
Well, it could be hot chocolate. It was definitely a liquid form because you can see that it was kind of pooled up in the little area where the bowl sits, where there's kind of like it goes down, it indents a little bit.
Correct.
That it had been pooled up a little bit. Now, but I saw some further evidence, and I think we can really narrow into what this was.
Well, I took another whiff when you said you didn't think it was chocolate, and it might not be chocolate, but that's what I thought.
I think it could be hot chocolate.
Okay.
It's either hot chocolate or coffee.
But what is it that...
It's hot chocolate or coffee, and the reason is you need to take a look at the garbage pail next to the microwave.
Oh.
There has been evidence left in there. There is a Starbucks coffee cup that you could tell has brown all over it on the outside of it, and then there is paper towels that have clearly been wet and dampened that have some brown spots in it. So the evidence was the cup clearly was immediately thrown away. And then it looks like they tried to clean it up a little bit.
And then just gave up.
But did not go full on the cleanup because it's pretty bad.
So somebody...
But it's a cup from Starbucks. This is in my opinion. In my professional investigative opinion.
So somebody who visited Starbucks, which now could open it up to not just air staff, but sales staff as well. Right?
Sure.
Anybody who... Now, if you're not a coffee drinker, you are eliminated, I guess, right?
So I'm eliminated.
You're eliminated.
I'm not a suspect.
You've never had coffee once in your life.
Never. I have had hot chocolate, so I guess you could still rule me in.
I think it is coffee, because when I took a second whiff, it might have been one of those where my guess is if it was from Starbucks and it wasn't pure coffee, it was one of those frappe, latte, mate, mocha, laka, luka, daka, duka ones, right? One of those ones where you get the drinks that screw up the coffee line for everybody else. I've mentioned this before. You know how they have on the Hartman Highway, they have the Easy Pass lane, right? Where the HOV lane. 2 people or more, you get to just buzz right through there, or if you're a motorcycle, right? At coffee places, they should have 2 drive-through windows. One for those who want a mocha, frappe, latte, overpour, Americano, and those of us just I want a dark roast medium black and nothing else. Get in, get out, get in, get out. This is probably somebody who ordered a frappe matcha. That couldn't be me. Plus, I don't like to microwave coffee and make it warm. It changes the taste.
I was going to ask, when you do microwave the coffee, do you take out the plate that goes in a circle? Like, you don't want your cup of coffee spinning, do you?
It doesn't spin at enough of a pace. Enough of a pace that it would.
Because I felt like, the circular plate looks clean, right? It was taken out.
Oh. Does the Starbucks cup have a name written on it? Because oftentimes when you go to Starbucks, they'll write your name on it.
I didn't touch it because it looks disgusting.
Well, I'm going to touch it.
But now we have to.
Oh.
Yes. I kind of want to go down there right now.
How about this? Where is it? I think it was Russo. That guy drinks like 300 Starbucks coffees a day. It could have been Russo.
Was he in here from Beyond the Pond this weekend?
I don't know.
I don't know if he traveled to Boston for the Wild game or not.
There's another one that just came in. What's older, the food rotting in the KFAN microwave or the Golden Gopher update that just played? Did the Golden Gopher update say, Gophers will play UCLA in NCAA Final Four basketball or Sweet 16? No! You know what, Tenneby? I'm not a moral victory guy, but I'll tell you what, UCLA is really, they've only lost one game all year. Gophers were only down 5 at the half. When I saw 33-1 against the Gophers, and you saw the size difference, they got a gal.
She's 6'7".
She's 6'7". She's like, she just, your mama can't stop her, your daddy can't stop her, the Gophers couldn't stop her, the police couldn't stop her. Only to be down 5, I thought was I actually had some hope. I thought, you know what, this is interesting. And then all of a sudden, second half started, and it was basically over in a blink of an eye. But yeah, I wonder. It has to be some kind of a frappe. Regular coffee doesn't boil over. And you're right. Regular coffee wouldn't boil over like that. It has to be somebody that does. And trust me, I don't do those. I don't even know what you'd call them. Foo-foo drinks, people will call them. I don't even know what foo-foo. I hope I didn't say
I like foo-foo drinks, yeah.
I don't do those. When I go to a place, I have to explain to them, too, I don't want iced coffee either. I don't know how I've had an iced coffee before. It just doesn't do a lot for me. I need to have dark roast, piping hot. That's what I need to have. And so that's not me either. Paul from Burnsville says there's a sticker on it. Maybe there is. Maybe there's a sticker on it that will tell you who it was, or else maybe what kind of a coffee it was.
I might need to get gloves, though, before going into that trash can.
There are people, there was a text message that came in earlier, Tenneby, that said something about, God, there's so many that have come in here, that says, no one cares about the quarterback contract money, more microwave investigations. Cold call all the staff and put them on the spot and see if they were the ones that ruined the microwave. Time to take Abbott's trophy back. Sounds like he lost all control of the staff in regards to shared microwave use.
I think we're closing in, and I'm a little concerned while we're on the air right now that someone's going to try to destroy the evidence.
The Gopher Daily Update could be renewed. That game was played almost a week ago. Well, there's that. No! How about a reward for the person who identifies the scoundrel? Perhaps a free round of golf with Common Man.
Oh, boy.
I don't think that'd be much of a reward. That would be what we call the booby prize. Biggest mystery. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart, the JFK assassination, or the great KFAN microwave mystery. Then somebody else says, dust the Starbucks cup for Prince.
We might have to.
Prince died 5-10 years ago. He's not around.
I always love that one.
This one's actually saying this is a top 5 Grum show ever. Maybe it is.
Wow, I mean, that's not saying much.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Sounds like you're stealing the tag from the morning show. That was a hot topic this morning. The cold treats line should be separated from the hot treats line. Nobody wants to wait for your chicken to be cooked. No, they must have stole that from me because I've done the 2 different coffee lines at Starbucks or Caribou or whatever, because I've done that for years. That's been a pet peeve of mine forever. Here's another thing. You don't do coffee, Tim, but let's say you drive up to a Starbucks. Sometimes the biggest line of all time is at Cane's.
Raising Cane's?
Raising Cane's
in
Woodbury. That goes around the building, back out, and halfway down the road, ironically, in front of Lifetime Fitness. There are more people in line at Cane's, Raising Cane's in Woodbury, late afternoons into early evenings than there is at Cars in the Parking Lot at Lifetime.
The only one bigger would be the Power Trip when they had their comedy event at Canterbury Park.
And it was so funny.
Yoga pants.
So you drive up to a Starbucks or a Caribou, and you see the lines like 10, 12, 15 cars deep, right? And because the person that's at the window is ordered, and they might be ordering for half a dozen people, they're bringing in the coffee for work that day. That means there's 6 different kinds. There might be one medium black coffee in that entire group. The other one's a frappe, latte, mocha, Americana pour over, right? With whipped cream on it and this and that and the other thing. I drive up. I'd rather just sit in the car, right? Listen to the Power Trip morning show and laugh and wait for my coffee. I got a tea time I got to get to. I don't have time to wait in line because you'll wait in line. I got to think that's a 15, 20-minute wait in some cases. I'll pull up, go in, order a medium dark roast, hot. They'll turn around, pour it, hand it back to me. I'll pay for them. I'll walk out in the car. The car that was at the drive-up window when I first pulled up is still at the drive-up window. But people don't want to get out of their car. I don't know. Is it? I don't necessarily think it's laziness.
I mean, I get when it's 5 degrees in January, not wanting to get out of the car.
But I don't. Time is money. I don't have time like that. That's why I've also said before. I think there should be a tea time lane. On the HOV lane. It should also be if you have a tea time to get to. You should be allowed to use that.
I'm surprised as the official, unofficial ambassador of Minnesota Golf, you haven't instituted some of these.
I'd like to get that done. So now we need to go back and see if there's a name.
I'm going to go back right now, yeah.
You go back there and see if there's a name. You want some rubber gloves?
I will have to go wash my hands right away.
Okay, well, you go take a look and we'll find it. We'll get to the bottom of this one way or the other here on the Common Man program on the Fan. Pastime common heats tend to be inundated with text messages on the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. This one says, productivity at my shop is grinded to a halt as we all wait with bated breath to see what's on that cup. This one says, most suspenseful break in program history. You talk about teases, to get them to hang around. Tenneby went to go investigate. To update you for those that just joined us, the microwave was a mess when I got here. I walked to get a coffee just before I went on the air, and I noticed that that glass plate that spins around in the middle of the microwave is sitting outside the microwave, and it's got gunk all over it. I look inside the microwave, something's exploded in there. So somebody microwaved something for too long and decided, well, I'm not going to clean it up. I'll leave that for somebody else. So that, by the way, someone wants me to keep the microphone on my stomach to see if you can hear it growl because I wasn't able to do that. But I didn't eat my lunch. It's made things. It's inconvenienced other people here because no one's able to use the microwave. We think we narrowed it down. I thought it might have been chocolate because I took a whiff. Tenneby went back there and says, I don't know if it's chocolate. It might have been coffee or something. Then we saw the Starbucks cup.
There's your stomach, by the way.
Yeah, that's it.
There it is.
That's my stomach. That's it. You went back to see it, and somebody said, well, you saw a microwave, you saw a Starbucks cup back there last break in the trash can, and you could tell something had boiled over in it, and it had been discarded.
Yep.
Then somebody came up with a reminder that said a lot of times at Starbucks, there are names on the cup because when you're ordering, they're just putting them out there and they write your name on it. Tim, you went back to investigate. What did you find?
I did. We have narrowed in on our guy. Emphasis on guy. We do believe the suspect is a male. I will give a hat tip to the person who said check the name on the, because there is a name on the cup.
Oh, there is.
There is a name on the cup. It's someone that works for iHeartMedia that would have been here over the weekend.
Okay.
Does a weekend show right here on the Fan.
Mm-mm. And what name was that?
The name is Dan.
Oh my gosh, you are above average at that.
Well, there's two Dans on the air.
There's two Dans,
and I wasn't here. Golf show doesn't start.
You know, I will say you were still kind of a suspect because you could have done it this morning.
Yes.
But after investigating the cup, after investigating the garbage, it was clear to me that this was not an incident that had happened earlier today because it would have been wetter, would have been soggier. It had been dried up a little bit in there. So this is something that happened in a previous day or two. I have Dan Barrero as our number one suspect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you are above average at that.
Wasn't he the one who also stole the ice cream out of the refrigerator that one time we caught on video? I think that was him. Of course, I just stole some ice cream, but I didn't. I fessed right up to it. There's more Dairy Queen in there, right? Yeah, and these are just like almost really small.
Like mini ones, which is
I might have to go back and get another.
Because after a week at Disney World, and then my daughter had her birthday party over the weekend, I've had way too much bad stuff to eat. I don't know if I can keep eating. I would like to have the Dairy Queen. I just don't think I can go forward with it.
I'll take yours then. That one you could have had. I'll take that. So we think it might.
We think we found our guy. It's Dan Barrero.
It sounds like it was a big ticket. This one says, the finest piece of investigative journalism this show has ever seen. Well done, young man. Then there's this one. Barrero, one of the biggest twists in KFAN history.
Get over it! Thank you.
Isn't that interesting?
We don't need you. Nobody cares.
Well, I can say one thing. After what happened to the microwave, it's not going to work. You know the microwave is not going to work because it doesn't work now. So kind of sounds like it was big ticket to me. I mean, I don't know.
That's who I have as my number one suspect. I'd like to bring him in for questioning.
Yeah.
See if he'll confess.
He'll plead the fifth. Right?
Do we have any other Dans that work here? Other than you?
Max, that's not Dan. Sinekin's Dave. You sure it wasn't Dave?
I mean, I took a picture of the cup.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know.
Should I send it to you to see if you recognize the cup?
Well, wouldn't be.
In case it was you?
No, it wouldn't have been me.
Did you have any Starbucks this weekend?
I would. No, I did not have Starbucks this weekend.
Just want to make sure.
I think I told the story when I was down at, I think it was at Sanibel Island on vacation with the family. They had one Starbucks on the entire island. That was it, right? So you're waiting in line forever, and I get to the front of the line, and they ask me, what do you want? And I was getting a coffee for my wife, too, and as long as I'm in line, I ain't doing the mediums this time. I'm doing 2 large dark roasts, black, right? They said the name, and I go, the name is Bond. James Bond. She didn't look up. I could tell she rolled her eyes, wrote Bond on the cup and set it down.
I always love that one.
How many times?
It's not the first time she's heard that one.
The name is Bond. And I did it with I did it with the Sean Connery accent. The name is Bond. James Bond. And she's probably thinking, dude, you're a loser. I've heard that so many times I don't want to hear it again. But it said Bond. I still have the picture on my phone because my kids, of course, thought it was funny. No, they think anything Dad did. Well, they used to think anything Dad did was funny. They're not so much that way anymore now. So,
the members of the Power Trip are probably try to do like names they think are like funny, like sexual. Ben Dover.
Well, the Power Trip is. This one says Barrero also likes foo-foo coffee drinks. He does. He doesn't get black coffee that I know.
Above average.
Because, as a matter of fact, there was even a time many years ago I was going to get a Starbucks and offered to get him one, and it was a Caribou, and he got something with like a frappe latte mate.
Just got a tweet that said, "This is your clean the microwave leader, the Fan."
Well, yeah. This one says, catch him before he can lawyer up. Oh, yeah, go ahead and hit the, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on.
Soundbite.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Big ticket.
we got him.
I always love that one.
How about this? I think it's a frame job by guards. He's
Sure.
angling to take Ticket's job when he gets hauled away in cuffs.
I can't rule that out.
No, you can't rule it out.
That's why we need to bring him in for questioning.
Yeah.
I did walk by Gerdsey in the hall on my way to the microwave. He had kind of a little smirk on his face.
He's in the studio right now, prepping right now. Well, anyways. Now, you know how they'll say it was Mr. Mustard,
Colonel Mustard
Colonel Mustard
in the ballroom.
in the ballroom with a monkey wrench? This one says it was Dan Barrera with a latte in the break room. That's what it was. So, yeah.
I think we can close the case.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of evidence here.
Yeah, I think it's case closed. And again, there is no sink here now anymore because our break room does not exist. So there's not a sink other than the bathroom sink, which would be really difficult to wash it up in. I would have done it. That's the effort I would have made. I would not have left that like that. You can't.
You can't. No.
You have to clean it up for the next person. But right now that microwave is it's not going to work.
It's possible he forgot about it.
That's possible.
It might have been like during commercial break, during Sunday sermons. He said, I'll go get this to the next commercial break. And then it kind of slipped his mind.
Could be. That could very well be.
Because he just didn't have time to do it at that moment.
So, there was a guest co-host on Saturday morning with Captain Billy Hildebrand. I think his name was Dan.
Ooh.
That could be the call I've been waiting my entire life for. Looks like it's from a private investigation company or something like that.
They want to hire us?
Maybe they want to hire us. This one says, is there a chance he'll be found not guilty due to an insanity plea? Well, that's possible, too. Anybody that would work at this place for as long as the two of us have, probably has, and you, too, you're in this as well, that work here this long, has to be a little bit insane. Tennessee, go get some yellow tape and put it around the microwave. We have a crime scene here is what we have. Yep. We'll take a break, come back. One more segment to go here on the Common Man program with Common and Tennessee right here in the Fan.
Wolves.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He is Tennessee. This will throw a wrench into things. Can you rule Blakemore out? Maybe Barrera big timed him and said, "Go warm up my coffee for me, kid." I don't like bump being pointed at without a more full investigation. I guess it's possible, right?
Above average at that.
But then it's like you're aiding and abetting. So it's not as... I mean, I don't even know if this crime really is, if there's any kind of punishment. It is what it is.
Just shame.
But just shame. But, there is aiding and abetting, so they could both be guilty. I don't know. As charged. So, then there's this one that says, do they make Bermuda jumpsuits for Barrera to wear when he's eventually arrested? That goes back to the old wearing Bermuda shorts. That's what somebody reported, that Barrera was fired from the Dallas Morning News for wearing Bermuda shorts, which really never happened, but we went with it for the longest time ever. Now, my question is, should I feel bad about accusing the Power Trip Morning Show? I mean,
They might get here tomorrow morning and say, somebody stole our Dairy Queen from the refrigerator. Who was it?
It was me. Come and get me, Kappa. I shouldn't have taken that, shouldn't I?
No, I think when it's put in the fridge like that, it's probably, and without someone's name on it, I think that's known. This is free for anybody.
Well, there's like 40 of them in there.
Yeah,
too.
there were
It's
so
not
many.
like-
yeah,
there's just so many.
That's
of
for
them.
anybody.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks for letting me off the hook there, Tony. For old times.
Now I'm aiding and abetting you.
You are. Then I'll blame you. Well, Tennyson was okay. Right?
I'm having lots of fun, so I hope the listeners having fun as well.
I am too. Here's a text message that says, Starbucks. It's all the people ordering food. Takes forever in the drive-through. I go in and all the people working know me and have my drink ready in 1 minute or less while the cars just keep stacking up. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is that it's just easier to go. Now, I've tried to do that I've tried that at fast food restaurant before. So you see that it's lunchtime. There's 30 cars there. So you go inside. I'd like to hear from somebody that that has worked at a fast food restaurant. I have a sneaking suspicion that when it's the drive-through, they get priority over walk-ins. Especially when it's during busy times. They want to get them in and out, right? They just, they don't want to make them wait that long. Because I've done it before where I've seen the big line. I go, you know what? I'm just going to go in and order and get mine right away. They'll make me wait forever before somebody comes over and gets my order. And then it doesn't, I'd have been better off staying in line. And I wonder if that is if they do prioritize the drive-through.
Well, I'm surprised if they were to do that, how they haven't monetized that yet, because that's where everyone's going, right? Like if you go on a flight, if you're paying for first class seats, or they have all these different levels now, you get different perks and priorities. You get to be in zone 1. You get to have free Wi-Fi, or you get to have these for drinks and food and beverage. If you go to Disney World, which we were just at, they have lightning lanes. You pay more. You get to go through the fast lane, right? I'm surprised one of these companies haven't gone, let's have a little priority lane. You can have a McDonald's membership where you pay X amount of dollars a month, and then we'll put you in the priority fast lane.
There you go. I like the priority fast lane.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this?
We have it on our roads. We have the Hartman Highway.
How about this? For me, eating the Power Trips ice cream. Well, you were starving. That ice cream could have saved your life. It wasn't your fault you had to eat it because of the microwave, and I couldn't heat up my lunch. I was starving. Listen to my stomach. I mean, look, I'll take the microphone and you can listen to my stomach again. This is my stomach because I haven't had a chance to eat today. That sort of sounds like when I would push my hernia in, that's what my hernia would sound like. Just like that. Then I got it fixed. Then I put a rolled up pair of white athletic socks in my scrotum to take care of that. But anyway. Who do the Wild have next?
They actually have 4 days off, which is...
How is that possible?
Well, it might be much needed. This might have been the best time because they just... it's hard to blame fatigue because you don't ever know. But I tell you what, Quinn Hughes has not looked the same since the Olympic break. Matt Boldy, for really his first slump all season, has been the last 7 games. Maybe there's some bumps and bruises. I think Quinn Hughes specifically, I criticized Quinn last week. He played worse Saturday. Saturday against Boston was the worst he's played all season long, and it's not even close. He refuses to engage physically in front of your own net. He's out there way too long. And a lot of people liked how great is that Quinn Hughes plays so many minutes. It's because the shifts are so long. I mean, he's going to play a lot regardless. And there's times when you're on the power play, that's fine. Quinn, stay out there all 2 minutes. You're not. But when it starts to affect your defensive performance and you can't get back and you can't engage physically with players in front of the net because you're too tuckered, then you need to take shorter shifts. And come playoffs, if he keeps taking shifts like that, it's gonna bite him. It's gonna come back to bite him, and it's gonna come back to bite the team. So it sounds like I was reading Russo's column today, Russo and Joe Smith from The Athletic, that The coaches have actually talked to him about it and talked to Brock Faber about it, that they're staying out there too long, but clearly they didn't talk to him before Saturday because he was out there a lot. And I get it, in games in which you're trailing, which they were against Boston, he's going to play more because he's your, arguably your best offensive player. But he was, I think he was out there for 5 goals against in that game against Boston. And a lot of them were like directly on him. So whether he's tired or fatigued or just doesn't have the same focus, hopefully this 4-day break gets him back to reset to where he needs to be.
Earlier in the show, at the beginning of the show, as a matter of fact, we mentioned that 2 former Viking greats passed away over the weekend on the same day. Jeff Seaman, former linebacker for the Vikings, and then Joey Browner. And then I was alerted to this. I just saw this now. It was Justin Guard, JG, who told me, Jay Robinson.
Yes.
The wrestling coach who guided the Gophers to 3 NCAA team championships over 30 seasons. He died Sunday at the age of 79. The Gophers wrestling program announced Robinson's death on social media, but did not provide further details. So, another long time.
I felt like he was in that position not that long ago. Wasn't that relatively recently?
Yeah, I think it was just recently he left that job. So, there it is. Speaking of the Wolves, which we really didn't do much of today, Anthony Edwards has been upgraded to questionable, but McDaniels remains out. The Wolves released their injury report yesterday for today's game at Dallas, and Edwards listed as questionable. Edwards was cleared Friday to resume on-court basketball activities. He's missed the previous 6 games because of what the team has been calling right knee. You ready for this? Patellofemoral pain syndrome. It's a syndrome is what it is. I had no idea. It's been Edwards' most injury-filled season. Tenby, can you... Well, go
I was
ahead.
going to say, before you move on, they did give us a press release today on Jade McDaniels'
Okay.
health as well. It says the Timberwolves today announced the following injury update on forward Jade McDaniels. An MRI conducted by Dr. Craig Bennett at Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine on McDaniels revealed left knee patella tendinopathy and a bone bruise. McDaniels will be listed as week to week, and further updates of his progress will be provided when available. So John Krasinski chimed in. He said, no surgery will be needed for Jade McDaniels, I'm told, and this timeline appears to be geared entirely toward getting him ready for to go for the playoffs. But he says big loss on both ends from Minnesota.
So I overviewed patellofemoral pain syndrome, which apparently is what Edwards has been diagnosed with. It's also known as runner's knee. It is a common, often chronic pain behind or around the kneecap. It is typically caused by overuse, muscular imbalances, weak hips and thighs, or improper kneecap tracking. Symptoms include pain during activities like running, squatting, or descending stairs. It's a dull, aching pain located in the front of the knee, often affecting both knees. Worsens during running, jumping, squatting, or climbing stairs. Pain or stiffness after sitting with bent knees for a long time, often called theater sign. I guess for sitting in the theater, I don't know. There's popping or cracking, a grinding or popping sensation in the knee. Most cases are successfully treated through non-surgical conservative methods, though full recovery can take weeks to months, depending on the severity. So it's not said anywhere in the story we just read about Edwards that he has been cleared, but doesn't say how severe it is. But it's saying weeks or maybe even months. And last I checked, we don't have weeks until the playoff starts. So if he's
we have weeks, but not months.
Not months. Rice method, physical therapy, activity modification, lowering training intensity, or switching to low impact activities temporarily, using knee braces, taping, or shoe orthotics. As last resort, it would be surgery if conservative treatments don't fail. It's most commonly seen in teenagers, young adults, and active individuals, which would be right in Ant's wheelhouse because he's a young adult and he's very active. So there you go. So we'll have to see how that goes. Hockey, let's talk more microwaves. Well,
I feel like we've reached the end of the journey.
well, maybe not. Here's one. With a high-profile figure in the midst of a scandal, they have two choices: deny everything or face it head-on, apologize, and move on. Which do you think Barrero's public relations team is recommending? I don't know. We don't even know for sure if it was him. I mean, the evidence is incriminating. But we don't know what we don't know. There is the security cameras. And I don't know, I don't think they run continuously like Teneby mentioned. I think when there's motion, it's almost like a motion detector. That'd be the only way I think we could confirm it completely. But I just don't know if we're ever going to get to that point. So I guess what
we have enough evidence to issue a warrant for his arrest and to bring him in for questioning.
Well, I think so.
To detain him.
I think we can absolutely do that. Oh, look at this. I didn't see this. Sorry about that. Warren, you want to weigh in on the microwave controversy?
Well, I know exactly what you're going through. And it's kind of a mess, you know. And no, the reason I called in today was
Vikings.
When I was listening to the Vikings coach talk like he did. Now you kind of know why the Vikings get in the situations they're in. One, talking like the offensive line is good. And, you know, using the guys that they got basically to get them nowhere. You give up 60 sacks. But here's what when you know your team's on the right track.
All right.
Offensively, this is what you should be doing. You should be trying to get the least sacked team in the league. That should be one goal. Second goal is you should be able to run. One of the highest teams in the league should be able to run. So that means you're eating time up. One of the, having the best, holding the ball for the longest time on offense. And to me, it appears that they are looking the wrong way. And look at the guys they picked up. The defensive back they got from Pittsburgh, 29 years old, hasn't been a full-time starter the whole time he was there. And they signed him for $7 million. There's a guy by the name of Nick Cross who was the best defensive back available. He was 24 years old, signed for the same kind of money, can run a 4.3, and he's outstanding. He had 120 tackles last year. They could have had him. The Vikings, to be successful also because you're playing, well, if you get to the Super Bowl, you have to play 20 games. You need 10 good offensive linemen that you can bring in at different times to control the clock. Okay, that's another problem. They're not trying to get better to control the ball. Defensively, it's the same way. If you look at every year the Vikes went to the Super Bowl, played well. The only reason they lost is because all the other teams dominated them at the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
And they don't have that ability to do that. So,
what can we do about it?
Well,
who's
first
available?
Of all,
there's nobody available.
Well,
all the good linemen are gone.
They were available. If you take New England's guy the Vikings had, they signed him. That's why I know my guys that I think are doing well are doing well. They didn't use him in left tackle in the Super Bowl. And he didn't give up a sack while he was in there. Look what happened to the rookie when they used him in the Super Bowl. They put the wrong guy in. So 49ers signed him for a $6 million contract, and he's only 25 years old. Faalele, who could come in here and help him with the run game, who's been starting for Baltimore. I think they could sign him for a good contract, and he's 370. So you get guys
sounds like he had a bad
that
year last year. Didn't he have a bad year last year?
It wasn't. No, the thing that bothered people about him is...
I thought he had a bad year last year is what I heard, Warren.
Well, no, but I'm saying the reason they didn't like him because of it, his pass protection last year was a little iffy because their offensive line was down a little bit. But the running game, they've had one of the best running teams in the league since he's been there.
That's because of quarterback.
He's only 24. He's only 24, 25 years old.
Okay.
Now, the trouble with the Minnesota Vikings is, now we're getting back to the defense.
How much longer is this going to go?
They don't have, not very long.
Okay.
If you don't have the guys up front that can control the ball, this is why they get in trouble. They don't have guys that stay at home on the defensive line that cover their area. So they got linebackers trying to cover defensive line positions. If they got the linebackers that can back the line and stay at home, and the defensive backs stay in their position, they'll win. That's why they get trouble in the big games, because the other teams overdo them. Yep.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
I appreciate that. Someone suggested that taking Warren's call is sort of like showing the movie Heidi during the Raiders-Jets game, like the Heidi Bowl. And that's kind of what it was, because we were on a roll here with the microwave thing, and all of a sudden, but I had to finish my Dairy Queen, so it was a perfect time. I didn't have 5-3-4 to rely on. So you know how I love power rankings. So think about this: after 3 games of baseball, 3 or 4 games, they're already doing power rankings at CBS Sports. The Twins are at 28. They actually dropped a spot
because they won a game.
They dropped a spot because they won 1 and 2, I guess. The only teams below them are the White Sox and the Rockies. Both of those teams are 0 and 3. So that explains a lot. But if you'll remember, we talked about last year the Rockies and the White Sox were the 2 worst teams in Major League Baseball. The Rockies tried to do something about it. They have a brand new GM who sent some kind of syrupy, sappy cover letter to the season ticket holders in Denver saying, it's kind of fun watching it build together, and it takes a village and the whole kind of a thing like that. And I don't know if anybody's buying into that, but the Twins have already gone to they've dropped a spot from the 27th ranked team in Major League Baseball. They are now 28 in the power rankings. And if we keep, number 30 isn't out of the question. Now I know the Rockies are bad, and so are the White Sox.
We can contend.
Well, we can contend, particularly because we got games with the White Sox. How many do we have altogether? I know they don't do the.
Do they still play like the?
They still have an unbalanced.
Games?
Yeah, I still think they have the unbalanced schedule. I don't know if it's as bad as it used to be, but there's plenty of games. So I think those White Sox Twins matchups are going to go a long way in determining who the worst teams in Major League Baseball are. You ruined the best show of 2026 by putting Warren on. I blame the empty stomach for this lack of judgment. That's what it might have been. Though I did enjoy the blizzard. It was a chocolate blizzard with. Do they have a chocolate Oreo blizzard, or is it? I don't know what
they have. So many different. They have like their standard blizzards, and then they have so many that come in like on a seasonal, monthly basis. They're experimenting all the time.
So, Ralph from New Jersey says, "What is Warren smoking?" Another one says, "Preposterous statement." Warren saying, "This won't take much longer."
I always love that.
And then there's this one that says, "Warren is such a rube. It's not even April, bro. Chill." And he probably should. But you know what? April suddenly turns into May. May turns into June, July, and the season starts. I mean, you got to worry about these things now. The draft is a mere, 3-4 weeks away? That's it. 4 weeks away, probably. Then after the draft, we have OTAs, we have mini camps. I still think it's going to be Kyle Murphy is going to be the starting quarterback for the Vikings.
I always love that one.
I don't think there was really going to be a competition. But then again, Ben Lieber thinks that right now the depth chart has Carson Wentz as the number 1 quarterback.
The first day they actually practice as a team,
yeah,
Kyle Murphy will get the first team reps. Carson Wentz will get the second team reps. And if 9 is still here, which I'm not convinced he will be after the draft, if 9 is still here,
Oh my gosh, you are above average at that.
he will get the third team reps.
yeah. So you think there's a distinct possibility they're gonna move on from McCarthy completely? You might be right. I still, for some reason, and I'm not going to lay any bets on it. And if it is, it'll be a small bet. I just think because of the Darnold thing, I think they're a little jittery on that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you shouldn't let that dictate what you do, but you let Darnold leave the building.
Well,
he went on to win a big game.
Carson Wentz ain't signing here in March to be your third string quarterback. So that would mean to me he's your You have 2 quarterbacks ahead of J.J. McCarthy on the depth chart. If you have 2 quarterbacks ahead of J.J. McCarthy at the depth chart, that means you don't have a lot of promise for his future.
You don't have a lot of confidence, as Mike Tice once said. Tenemy, thanks for getting to the bottom of things. And by the way, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed our visit with you. We're back tomorrow at 12 noon. Thanks for being with us. Mark Rosen will join us at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Stick around. Big Ticket, JG. They're next right here on the Fan.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And good night, Minnesota.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.